All right, let's talk about something that feels like a small detail, but is actually a huge deal for any business in India, your helpline number. Seriously, picking between a 1-800 number or an 1-860 isn't just about digits. It says a lot about your company and can really affect your success. Hey there, I'm Maiko, your AI knowledge operator, and I'm really glad you're here. We're about to jump in and make this whole thing crystal clear for you. So let's start with a really fundamental idea here. Your business phone number is so much more than just a way for people to call you. It's often the very first critical connection a customer makes with your brand. And, getting that first impression right, that's everything. I want you to really think about this for a second. How many potential customers or sales have just vanished because someone couldn't easily get in touch? Or maybe they hesitated to call because they were worried it might cost them money. This is a huge pain point for so many businesses. And today, we're going to fix it. Okay, so what are your actual options on the table? We're about to break down all the main types of business numbers you can get in India. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll be speaking the language of business phone lines like a pro. First up, the big one. The one everyone recognizes, the 1800 number. This is the classic 100% toll-free option. When your customer dials this number, it costs them absolutely nothing. The catch? Well, you, the business, are footing the entire bill for every single one of those calls. And when you look at these features, the strategy becomes pretty obvious, right? By making it completely free, you're rolling out the red carpet. You're basically shouting, "Please call us, we want to hear from you." This makes 1-800 numbers an absolute home run for things like sales or customer support lines. The trade-off, though, is that you pay for it all. And one more key thing to remember, there's no SMS on these numbers. So what if you don't want to pay for everything? Well, that brings us to our next option, the 1860 number. This one's more of a hybrid model, a meet-in-the-middle kind of deal. The caller pays their normal local call rate, and your business covers the more expensive long-distance part of the cost. It's all about sharing the load. I absolutely love this analogy because it just makes it click. A 1-800 number, that's you treating your customer, the coffee's on the house. A 1-860 number, that's like saying, "Hey, let's meet up and go Dutch on the bill." It's a perfect, simple way to remember the key difference. Now, we've been talking a lot about voice calls, but what about texting? For SMS, you've got two main players. First, there's the short code. You know those 5 or 6-digit numbers you see everywhere, like text WIN to 55555? That's a short code. It's built for massive, one-way marketing campaigns. But for a real conversation, you need a long code. That's a standard 10-digit number that works for both two-way texting and voice calls, which feels a lot more personal. Okay, so we know all the players now, but that brings us to the most important part. How in the world do you choose the right one for your business? Let's build a quick framework to help you make that call. This table right here, this is basically your decision-making command center. Let's just walk through it. That first row, who pays, it lays it all out, doesn't it? 1800, it's all on you. The others, the caller chips in. Then, SMS support, it's a simple yes or no. But the real gold is in that last row, best for. This is where you match the number to your mission. Need amazing customer support? 1800 is a no-brainer. Running a huge marketing blitz? Short code is your weapon of choice. Want to have real one-on-one chats? You're looking at a long code. See how it all fits together? So, to really nail this, you have to ask yourself a few honest questions. Who are your customers really? Are they going to think twice before dialing a number that costs money? And what about your budget? Can you actually handle the cost if you're getting slammed with calls on a 1-800 number? Do you even need SMS? Be real with yourself about these, and the right answer will practically jump out at you. All right, decision made. So, now what? You might be thinking this is where it gets complicated, but honestly, getting set up is surprisingly easy. Let me just walk you through the 5 simple steps to get your new number up and running. I mean it. It's this straightforward. First, you pick a good provider. Then comes the fun part. You get to pick a catchy, memorable number. After that, there's a little bit of standard paperwork, the KYC or know your customer stuff. Then you set up how you want calls to be handled, like your welcome message. And boom, before you know it, usually in just a day or 3, you are live. But here's the thing. Getting the number, that's just the start. The real magic, the real game changer is what you do with it next. This is where we go beyond just a simple helpline and really supercharge your business. And this is the huge difference between an old school number and a modern cloud-based one. See, with a cloud provider, you're not just getting a phone line. You're getting an entire intelligence system. You can track every call, record them for training, get these deep dive reports on everything. Your phone number stops being just a number and turns into an incredible source of business data. Let me tell you a quick story so you can see what I mean. Picture this: Sodexo. Massive company, right? Tens of thousands of employees. Their HR department was completely drowning, just buried under an avalanche of repetitive phone calls. It was absolutely killing their productivity. So what did they do? They brought in a cloud system with an IVR, the automated press 1 for this, press 2 for that menu. The result was immediate and stunning. They could suddenly respond to their employees' questions 3 times faster, a 3x boost in efficiency, right out of the gate. But believe it or not, that wasn't even the most impressive part. The truly game-changing number was this one: 80%. An 80% reduction in the number of calls their HR team had to physically pick up and answer. Imagine that. It freed up their team to focus on actual strategic work instead of just answering the same basic questions all day long. That is the power of a smart system. So let's recap. We've covered what all the numbers are, how to choose one, how to get it set up, and even how to supercharge it. And that brings us to one final, and I think most important question. Here's the bottom line. A modern helpline is not just a phone number anymore. It's a 24/7 virtual receptionist. It's a promise to every single customer that they will be heard. And, as we saw with Sodexo, it's a way to become dramatically more efficient and save a ton of money in the process. Look, your customers aren't just operating from 9 to 5. They have questions and needs around the clock. They're ready to connect with you. So the only question left is, with all these tools and options now at your fingertips, are you ready to answer? Thanks for joining me for this breakdown.